Welcome to another episode of My Orgasmic Life. Okay, so make sure you read the content warning. Today's show is going to be talking about how when we let others help us, it doesn't make us weak. And so this is a call out to all of my very capable, powerful, strong people that have been taught that we have to do it all on our own. Because if we don't, it's going to create weakness and people are going to take advantage of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So make sure you check the show notes to make sure that nothing in the conversation, I might talk a little bit about trauma. I'm sure I'm going to talk about sex because it's me. And there's probably going to be swearing. So I won't know what else I'm going to talk about until I'm finished talking about it. So check the show notes. Okay. So I'm going to start off with once upon a time, there was a young girl and named Gaia. And when I was a young girl, I was taught by my mother that to be a capable, powerful woman, I needed to not rely on anybody other than myself. And that program showed up all the time. It showed up in, her coming back from a date and, talking about why I don't need a man and never need a man. And you can do things without a man. And it was very like anti-man focused. A lot of the messaging that I got about being, but if you give up your power, if you need a man or you want a man or you have a man, that you're giving up your freedom, you're giving up your power, you're giving up your independence. And once you give it up, you can never get it back and you won't be powerful. So that was like the programming that I got. And then the secondary program as a little girl that I got to mirror was, seeing women giving up their sense of independence and freedom and coddling and taking care of men who weren't supportive or really weren't deserving or weren't equals or didn't treat them. They treated them like second-class citizens. So I got mirrored, like there was one way or the other way, and there was nothing in between. I didn't learn about in between until like I started to figure that out. For me, it was like as a kid, it was like either you were completely, you basically, men were around for sex when you needed them or to carry groceries. That was kind of the messaging I got. And then the other messaging was if you really loved or got support or nurturing or anything from a man, there was a high price to pay, which meant that they owned you and that you were going to, you had to give up who you were. Okay. So those, and again, I'm not saying any of these are right or wrong. This is just me sharing with you the messaging I got as a little girl. And when I was a little girls weren't allowed to do stuff. Little girls were still supposed to be wearing dresses and supposed to look pretty and not, be seen, not be heard, just be, quiet, look there, be pretty, always have your hair done. Like that was the messaging, or burn it all down. It was either like embrace all that is, 50s housewife, or burn your bra, burn the whole system to the ground. That's where I grew up in the late 70s, in the middle of the 70s. I was born in 74. So that's what messaging I got. So I was a tomboy. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going with the burn the shit down. I'm going, my route was I was going to burn the shit down and I was going to be strong and independent and I didn't need anybody and I didn't need anybody's help and I was completely capable. And if I didn't know how to do something, I would figure out how to do it. And I was like, back in the day, we called them tomboys and you couldn't get me in a dress. I remember adults chasing me around trying to get a dress on me. Kid putting some frilly dress on me. and then me climbing a tree or standing in a pond catching a frog in a dress. So that was my what it means to be a woman messaging as a child. So because I was a tomboy, I spent more time with boys. I had all my friends were boys. I found girls really lame because they were just wanting to play house, and they were all dressed up, and they weren't going to climb trees with me, and they weren't going to build a tree house with me, and they were not going to go catch frogs in the pond with me. And so I really had as a child, I had no desire to spend time with girls because I was like, they were boring. As far as I was concerned, they were boring and lame, and they were giving up all of their power and freedom. And I was like, I wasn't going to do that because that was the messaging I got. You only had one or the other. You couldn't have both of those things. So I'm a teenager. Now I realize, oh, my sexuality turns out I have a lot of power with sexuality. And so again, I am not saying that this is the right way to go about any of this stuff. I'm just sharing with you my journey with it. Okay. So very important part of this, okay, is that, again, this is how I moved, and I've always promised that I would never lie to you guys. So as a teenager, I realized, ooh, wow, I got boobs. First, I was devastated that I got boobs, and that I had, the boys stopped hanging out with me because I was like one of the guys, and now they were hanging out with me because they would like to see my boobs. And I was really devastated. So much so that I, went to my mom and asked her if I could have a sex change, because that's how much I didn't, that being a girl meant, being seen as a girl growing up meant to me that I was going to lose my independence. I was going to lose my freedom. I was going to lose the ability to be who I wanted to be. So my mom at that point said, if you still feel this way when you're 18, come back and we'll have a conversation. So she handled it quite well. But then I realized, ooh, I have all this power now because I got boobs. How do I use this power? Because again, no one's there teaching us how to do any of this stuff. So I started realizing that I could get things and have things done for me because I had boobs, and I could use those boobs to my advantage. Which again is still not coming from a really healthy place of empowerment on any level. On any level. So then I started to, as I became a teenager, then I became a young adult, and again, I was, this powerhouse of a woman who marched my own drummer, did what I wanted to do. I had significant relationships, and I had significant relationships with men. And yet that programming was, I couldn't let anybody help me. I couldn't let anybody support me. If I let anybody support me, they would, the price of their help and support was going to be my power, my independence, my individuality. That was, and that if I needed it, it meant I was weak. And if I was weak, I was going to be taken advantage of. And so that was it was deeply rooted within me. So I had relationships with men, but for the most part, they were there for my sexual gratification. And I didn't really allow them to really love me, in all fairness, I didn't allow them to love me. I didn't allow them to take care of me. I didn't allow them to support me. I didn't allow any of those things. I was incredibly independent. And, I didn't even do PDA for the most part. Right? I was like, nope, I'm this standalone. I am this island of power. Rah, rah, I am female. Hear me roar. And then I went to school. I went to college. And when I was in the college program that I took, if you've ever heard me talk about it, was an all feminist-based women's program for working with abused women and children. So I'm now surrounded with 80 women who also have the same value system that I was taught to believe, that I needed complete solidarity, needed independence. Men were there for my gratification. But, if I leaned in and, was soft and gentle and girly and any of those things, I would lose I would lose that power. They would take it. It was like this fear that they would take it. And so, I continued to have some, really long-term, significant relationships with men who, again, didn't really get a chance to love me. I didn't allow them to love me because there was too much of a price. I was afraid I was going to lose my power. So over the years, I found out that's a fucking lie. It's not true at all. That actually, the more I allow others to help me, support me, love me, the more powerful I become in the world, the more capable I become in the world, the more I feel held and supported. So I'm not having to hold on and take care of everything. I can do what I'm best in the world, which is, podcasting and doming and training and facilitation and, from a work perspective and from for me being as and my own personal growth and healing and self-awareness and education that I do in the world. I get to do that even more because I have people in my life. I have I have 2 significant male relationships in my life who got my back. They have my back. They love me. They support me. They help me. They more than just carrying groceries, and more than just fucking me. Like that I have finally realized that, oh, that was a lie. You can ask for help and get support without paying the high price of your power and your independence and your individuality. But I was told that lie, as so many other little girls were told, just like so many little boys were told probably the same thing, that there's a high price to ask for help. If you ask for help, you're not man enough. If you ask for support, you're not good enough. You're a wimp. Like, you lose your credibility. I used to see, I spent a lot of time with guys because I was a tomboy. So you would see the guys like, sitting around, one guy's barbecuing, the other one's all critiquing his barbecuing skills, instead of being like, where you would see, and it was very interesting, and they were all critiquing, but they weren't like giving each other support. It wasn't like, oh, I learned this thing, can I show you it? It was like, oh, this is how you do it. Yeah. This is how you make sure it's not blah, 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 like all this stuff. And so again, you couldn't ask. Powerful people have been programmed, whether it doesn't matter what gender you are, it doesn't matter what genitals you have or how you identify. Powerful people who are strong personalities have been taught there's a price to pay. If you show weakness, if you ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. If you allow people to support you, it's a sign of weakness. And then if there's that weakness, you are going to be kicked out of the power place. It's kind of the survival, looking at it from a place of pack mentality, right? And there's let's take a pack. There's an alpha in the pack, and the alpha is the alpha until he's no longer the alpha and he gets kicked out. So it's that same idea that if we show vulnerability, we show weakness, we ask for help, we allow people to support us, that we will lose our power. Our power will be taken away from us. And I'm here to tell you, it's a fucking lie. Absolute fucking lie. I am more powerful, more capable than I have ever been in my whole entire life. And I have so many people around me loving me and supporting me and building me up and helping me move further up the ladder in my life, my health, my wealth, my sexuality, my career, all of the things. So asking for help doesn't make me weak. Allowing people to support me doesn't make me weak. It actually makes me stronger, because now I have the support behind me, holding me, instead of me having to hold myself and try to do the things that I'm trying to do. So I wanted to share that because, right now in particular, because you've been following me, I've been dealing with some health issues, and part of my health issues We don't know the answer to that question. And so I haven't been able to do as much physical stuff in my work as I normally would. And, I can't walk very fast. I had two old people pace me. The other day, I was going for a walk in their walkers, by the way. And as a dom, my job when I lean in when I'm playing in the dungeon is a lot of physical exertion. I haven't had the energy, so I've had to take a little bit of a break, or I've had to modify. I'm doing a lot of modification on how I'm doming, not the same way as I physically could before. Just having to do a lot more mind fucking and all sorts of coming up with ingenious ways to torture my clients that don't take much energy out of me. But in order to do that, I've had to ask for help. I've had to ask for, hey guys, does anybody have any ideas? I've had to be honest with my clients and say, hey guys, I don't have the normal evil torturing energy, that sadistic energy I have. Are you okay with a different version of me and doming you? And all of my clients have been fantastic. They're like, absolutely, do whatever you need to do. Right? You're still, powerful, and you're still all the things. And I was really worried that if I told people that this is where I was at, that people are like, "Ooh, you're not going to be able to hold space for me, or you're not going to be as powerful." And it's not true. Actually, they're like, "Oh, thank you for being vulnerable with me. Thank you for sharing the truth with me. I feel honored." If anything, it's allowed people to drop in and be more connected to me. And surrender actually easier to me because they can trust me more because was really honest and vulnerable with them. And the people around me, like I said, have had to really step up for me, carry things for me, slow down the pace, working day to day, whether or not, I have the energy to go on an adventure or modifying the adventure because of where I am. And that's okay. Right. I'm not sharing it, by the way, I'm not sharing any of this. I'm sharing this so that you can, again, I always promised you I would never lie. So sharing the honesty of where I'm at and why and what I've learned. So this is what I've learned. I've had to ask for help. And in having to ask for help has opened my heart and opened my mind and opened every possibility for more love. Because now people actually get to love me. They get to help me. They get to support me. I actually allow them to do those things because I needed them to, because I couldn't do it myself. And I kind of wish, in all fairness, I kind of wish that I didn't wait all this. Like, I've wasted a lifetime. I've wasted a lifetime of trying to hold on to being tough and independent and not allowing others to support me and or love me truly, because I don't need anything, and I can do it on my own, and I'm capable on my own, because that's what I was taught as a little girl. That's what you had to be. And if you happen to be, and that you had to be a super woman of independence. So if you chose to have a family, you had to be a super mom and a career woman. You had to be a super career woman and a super mom, and still support your relationship in whatever capacity that was, and have nothing left for yourself. But you can't show or let anybody help, because if you do, you're told you'll lose it all. So I think it's really important for powerful people. This is who this podcast is for, by the way. All the powerful people, I want to say to you, allowing people around you to have your back, asking for help, letting them support you in whatever capacity you may need support in, whether that's going and picking up the kids or doing laundry or buying groceries or carrying your groceries, or cleaning something for you, or making a phone call, whatever it is. you need to say yes, because you're missing out. Doing it all yourself doesn't make you powerful. It just makes you scared. And that's the truth. That when we don't let others support us, it's because we've been told that they're going to take our power, which is from a place of fear, which means we never truly allow others in our lives the opportunity to show us how they love us and how they want to be there for us and how they care for us. And that's okay. And that they're allowed to do that. And that's a beautiful thing for them to do. And so if you're like, oh my God, it's not true. If I ask for help, they'll say I'm weak. If I'm weak, they'll take advantage of me. So here's the thing that I need to talk about before I let you go. Okay. So there is some truth that if you show vulnerability, others may see that as a weakness. Probably other powerful people that were told the same lie that you and I were told. Okay. And they may try to use that against you. Okay. I'm not gonna lie about saying that doesn't happen. It can happen, and sometimes it does happen. But here's the thing. If somebody takes your vulnerability, or the thing that you've asked for help may not even be vulnerable. Well, it may only feel vulnerable because we're told that we're not allowed to do it. But for other people who weren't told that, it's not that vulnerable to let other people help them. Okay. So if you allow others to support you, you allow other people to help you, you ask for the help that you need, you ask for the support that you need. And if that person were to see that as a weakness and to take advantage of it, you know what that tells you? It's time for them to go. There's no way that you have no space or energy in your life for somebody who chooses that. So yes, there are people like that, but you have the power to not have them in your life. So if somebody rears their head and that's what they show you, then there's an opportunity for you to clean out the toxic relationships in your life, to make space for the people who want to support you and want to celebrate your wins and be there with your wins, the good, the bad, the ugly, that they want to share part of your life with you. Let them. Like I said, I've missed out. I've spent a whole lifetime missing out, being loved deeply and being supported and held deeply. It's only been the last little while that I'm like, oh, this feels good. This feels nice. This is amazing. And then people who get to love me because I let them, because I allow them in to help and to support and to do stuff in my world, they get to really express how they feel about me, that I didn't let them for a long time. And so my relationships currently are fantastic. All of them. Friendships, a little bit of friendships that I still have, my client relationships, my partners, my family, the ones that I'm still talking to. Like, those relationships are incredible because I let go of the belief that if I ask for help, I let somebody support me, that makes me weak. It doesn't make me powerful. The truth is the opposite. By not allowing others in my life to love me, to support me, and help me, that has made me powerless. I am more powerful with a team supporting me behind me than I am solo on my own. So that's my insight, right? For all you powerful people, start small. Don't just, I recommend starting baby steps. Don't go all crazy. People around you are going to be like, what is wrong with you? All of a sudden, you're going to like let people help you. They're going to be like, what is happening right now? So start small, start with one person and asking for help in a particular area that you may need. and allow them the opportunity to say yes. Now, you may be surrounded by people that don't like to give support because you didn't want support. So here's an important piece as you start making this change, that you may get a no, I don't want to do that. And that's okay. They're allowed to say, I know I don't want to do that. You can go on to the next person to ask. Some people have capacity, some people don't have capacity at times, right? If somebody says no, or somebody then, again, sees you as weak, again, what are we saying? That's an opportunity to kick them out of your life. Not for saying no, don't kick them out because they said no, but for if they saw that as a weakness and tried to use that against you, then they get to go. But people are allowed to say no. You want to be able to say no when people ask you things. They need to be allowed to say no. It's not personal, and go to the next person. Okay. So don't make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. Don't pick the one person is not good at a thing and ask them for that thing. Here's an example of that. For example, let me see, give me a good example. Okay. So I need help. Say I need help in doing some brainstorming for content creation for my podcast. Okay. Let's just say I'm needing some extra support around that. Maybe editing, maybe, monetization, something around podcasting for my business. Yeah. If I go to my husband to ask for his help in this brainstorming, he's not going to be able to do it because it's not in his wheelhouse at all. So if I go to him and he rejects it, and because he doesn't know what to say, doesn't know what to do, he just kind of looks at me blankly, then I can then say, see, this is why I don't ask, this is why I don't let people in, this is why I don't ask for help, this is why I don't ask for support. But that's a lie. I asked the wrong person about the wrong thing. So that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that's an important piece that when you're changing your belief systems, especially a core value of, if I ask for help, people will think I'm weak. For powerful people, that's a big messaging. That's not the person to go. And if I go to him and I get this rejection, it feels like a rejection. It's not a rejection. He wasn't the person I should have asked in the first place. Then it becomes see, this is why I don't do it. So that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't want to have a self-fulfilling prophecy. So who do I go to? I go to my girlfriend. If I need support, I go to my girlfriend that does podcasting and is a businesswoman who knows about what the hell I'm talking about and can help me brainstorm and give me the back support that I need. So it's also, that's another piece of it. It's like, what kind of support you need to find the right person who have that skill. Don't go to people who don't have that skill and then be upset when they freak out or they don't give you what you need because they didn't have the skill in the first place. Okay. That's the tricky thing that we often do in relationships. Again, self-fulfilling prophecy, so that it keeps our subconscious believing, see, this is why we don't let other people help us. Because it makes us weak. It doesn't. Just find the right person for the right job. It's like, say you're at your job and you're in charge of hiring. Well, you don't hire a mechanic if you need a heart surgeon for the job. You hire the heart surgeon because that's what you need. And you don't hire a heart surgeon to fix your car because they don't know how to fix cars. So this goes with the same thing with love and support and the way you need support and what you're asking for help. And, whether it's emotional support, physical support, financial support, ideas, mental support, whatever it is, ask the right person that has the skill and let them support you. Okay. I think that's it. That's all. And in the meantime, while you're trying to sort this out, if you need any extra support on how to navigate, letting people help you, let me help you. Reach out to me. And I can help you navigate how do you still be a strong, powerful person and allow others to support you. And again, I am kick fucking ass powerful. You spend like 1 minute with me, you're like, woo, that girl's got it. And I have that more now because I have all sorts of people supporting me, all in all areas of my life, financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually. I have teams of people who bring their wonderful expertise. Some of them I pay for those expertise, and some of them are given to me freely. And they gift my life. I am stronger, more capable, more powerful than I've ever been. And I have more help and more support around me, which is allowing me to be more of me. So I'm talking to you, powerful people. Let others help. Let others in. It won't be your demise. It will not be the source of your demise. You know what the source of your demise is? Being burnt out from trying to do it all yourself and not allowing yourself to ever be loved or just taken care of or supported. Everything from as little things as somebody bringing you blueberries on their way home from work to, helping you, create a life strategy, like, and everywhere in between. So let yourself be supported. And in that support, there's a, I don't even know how to explain it. There's this warm feeling of being held and cared for. It doesn't happen when you believe, when you're taught that you can't let anybody care for you. Otherwise, that's a sign of weakness. You're missing out on all this beautiful support and love. And like I said, I've spent a lifetime rejecting it, pushing it away, creating a life where I don't need it. And the truth is that I don't need it, but it's lovely to have. And that's a difference. Okay. I don't need, I am totally capable of taking care of business, whatever that is, on my own. I have the skills, I have the tools, I know how to do that. But I don't have to. So why do it? And there's this beautiful, like I said, a beautiful, beautiful awakening that's happened within me by allowing people to love me and support me and care for me and help me out and carry my groceries or whatever else it is that I need happening. Okay. So I promise, cross my heart, hope to die, poke a needle in my eye. Promise you, letting others in to help you and support you does not make you weak, and it will not be the source of your demise. That was a lie that was told to you by others. That lie was told to. All right. So go be open, allow others to support you. Have a wonderful day. And if you need help, reach out to me and we'll figure out how to kind of get that happening, because it's not an easy transition to make, by the way, being an island of power, isolation, solidarity, to then becoming a village and being a part of a village. It's not an easy transition. So if you need some extra support with somebody who knows what you're going through, reach out at GaiaMorissette.com. All right, until next time, mwah, you got this. Stay curious. Bye-bye. Well, I hope today's episode inspired you, encouraged you, and of course, made you feel tingly inside. I just want to take a moment to tell you how much I appreciate the time that you spend and how I really deeply appreciate you listening. I do it for you guys, the audience, and I love and adore you guys. So, quick loving reminder, I am not available for naked pictures, getting married, having sex, or having anybody's babies. And when you want to spend more time with me in a professional capacity as your coach, your teacher, your educator, your facilitator, you can reach me at GaiaMorissette.com. That's the gateway to all things Gaia. Now, if you're like, oh, I really wonder what's in the extended version. I also lovingly invite you to follow me on Instagram, which the handle is My Orgasmic Life Podcast, where you can leave feedback and comments. Also come join me on Facebook at My Orgasmic Life Podcast Facebook group. And I really want to hear from you. I want to know how this show affected you. What did you learn? Was it inspirational? Did you agree? Do you disagree? I want to know, because I'm a little bit of a voyeur. So I want to know how am I affecting you? So please come leave some comments. Now, if you're like, but I don't want everybody to know what I'm thinking, which is okay. Sometimes we need privacy and we need to be anonymous. So you would like that option? We have that. You can email my slutty assistant, Layla, at GaiaMorissette.com. Okay, listeners, until next time, may your life be filled with sexy exploration and orgasmic pleasure. Mwah. Bye-bye.